Send Help, the latest from Sam Raimi, his most popular movie in 22 years. But I've seen a lot of people saying Send Help is a return to form for Sam Raimi. And on paper, this movie should absolutely work. It has all the stuff that you'd expect. You know, it's got that tone, his dark comedy. The whole setup feels like something that he would absolutely nail. But the whole time I was watching it, I just kept waiting for it to come together or even just start working in general. And it kind of never really did for me. Dusty says this is his favorite movie of the year, so we're going to have some disagreements. This is going to be a good one. We've got Rachel McAdams starring as Linda Liddy in this, and Dylan O'Brien as Bradley Preston. Bradley is a executive, and she's a bit of a savant. She's a math whiz.
She's the heart and blood of the company and was promised the promotion.
She was promised the promotion to vice president, but visually she's not vice president material. She's got a personality a lot like Kathy Bates did in Psycho. I mean, not Psycho.
Misery. Very misery coded.
Yes, very misery coded. They have to go on a trip for work to Thailand, and their plane goes down in a storm. Briefly in the beginning of the movie, we get a little bit of foreshadowing that she is really into the show Survivor. Turns out she's actually like she has a lot of expertise in bushcraft and surviving and all this stuff. So this comes into play when he is severely injured in the crash. He is sort of a bully to her, and he's just a bully in general. He's a cocky, pretentious, arrogant piece of shit who kind of treats her like shit and is making fun of her. But now the tables have turned, and she's the one in control, and she's the one in power. There's an interesting setup for what is essentially a survival thriller. This isn't a horror movie. I don't know why it's labeled as a fucking horror movie. Yeah. It is not a fucking horror movie at all. It's a thriller and a comedy, and that's about it. Dusty, let's start with you. Your favorite movie of the year, huh?
Yeah, it's a short year so far, but I love this movie in that it changed tonally several times. It was hilarious. It was entertaining. It was enthralling. Kept me wondering where it was going to go next, who was going to do what. Like, there was just so much stuff to set up, so much great stuff. It just kept churning out entertainment for me. I loved this movie.
I enjoyed it too. I did think it was pretty funny, and it did have a bunch of tonal shifts. It was pretty strong, like the first 75%-ish of the movie. I see what they were going for with the ending, but I didn't necessarily like how they look what they did to my boy type of thing. It was just like a play on like this like crazy cat lady or crazy bird lady, I guess, in this case. And they just took it to the extreme, but it was very Sam Raimi-esque, so I'm really not mad at it.
I don't think it was.
Pretty good.
And that's where my problem comes in. This didn't feel like a Sam Raimi movie to me at all.
There was some dynamics that I thought were fascinating, wherein, you're stranded on an island and obviously think, the man is the guy that survives, but it's not about brawn here. It's about brains. You see that tonal shift where like he gets better and you begin to wonder, what's he going to do now that he's healthy and he could take advantage? He knows he needs her to live, but if he finds out that he can get away, is he going to kill her? Is he going to ruin her life? So I don't know. I think it's compelling. Most people aren't inherently evil. They're made evil.
I didn't feel any of that. I get what they were going for, but I just don't think by the end of the movie, you're like left with this like good for her type of like sentiment.
No, absolutely not. No, you're not supposed to. I don't think. I mean, that's the brilliance of Sam Raimi.
I don't think that's brilliant, really, because
I don't think.
I think because you've argued too, like that to have a good, compelling story, you have to have a compelling character that you root for.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you have to root for her the entire time, though. You could root for her up to a certain point, and
but then what? What's the payoff? It's like, all right, well, she f***ed me over.
I mean,
she backstabbed me because
I was still.
Are you rooting
her,
for Walter White through the entirety of Breaking Bad?
No, but you wind up rooting for Jesse. It
shifts.
It shifts. You're like, oh.
But then who are you rooting for at the end?
Jesse. He's captured and being tortured. And he's like, oh, he got away. His life he can get his life back together. That show is brilliant. We've talked about it a lot, is because it shifts the framing.
So you're rooting for the druggy loser who barely graduated high school.
Yes, to get
an unlikable character.
To turn his life around, because by that point in the show, he is taking the steps to do that. She doesn't.
No.
Yes. No, what are you talking about?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
He was clean. He had a girlfriend.
Mhm.
First of all, he was clean until he met Jessica Jones. I don't want to get into a whole debate about Breaking Bad, but he was getting clean and getting his life together, and then Jessica Jones got him back on the bandwagon with her heroin addiction. Then she died because of Walt being an asshole, which sent him off a cliff mentally, Jesse.
Kristen Ritter.
Yes.
Right.
Then he meets the Spanish chick and her son, and also continued to get his life back together. And because of Walt again, he goes off the rails. Then he gets captured by neo-Nazis and tortured to cook meth. And then he escapes because Walt finally has like a final like heart at the end, and Jesse gets away. That's why the ending of Breaking Bad is so compelling. This is not that at all. From a characterization standpoint, the movie, they build her up. You're supposed to root for her and be good for her, but then the movie shifts that, and it's like, well, now who am I rooting for? What was I rooting for this whole time? She's not a likable character.
I'm still rooting for her. That's what I said.
No, that's fair.
Maybe not as hard.
No, that's fair. Yes, right. She got knocked down a couple of rungs. Yeah, everybody slips up.
Corporate struggle.
Yeah, I understand what the movie was going for. I just don't think it really did it in an effective way. I don't know that was really a Sam Raimi issue. I think that was more of a writing issue. I don't think the movie was written very well. It was funny, but I think the tonal shifts that you were praising, I think those were actually the movie's downfall. It was like too erratic, which is why when the number one praise of this is like, yeah, it's Sam Raimi, he's back. But like, I don't see that at all, because his older movies where he established this style of like kinetic camera movement and like black comedy and like dark tones, and it's like shifting from comedy to horror, like this wasn't as polished as his older movies. I think people might be a little bit like brain fogged because of Marvel, that he fell into the Marvel trap. Personally,
I feel like out of all the things you mentioned, the only thing it maybe didn't have was like the kinetic camera movement. Like it hit all the other points.
I don't know. I just think the movie was a little bit all over the place. It didn't really ever sell like a lot of the things that it wanted to sell to me. I was on board. I was like, this is a cool movie. It's a survival movie. It's a thriller. It's not a horror, obviously. And now we have the shift in character. Like now she's in charge. Like this guy who was like rich and powerful in normal world is peanuts here on the island. That's a cool story.
But he's still trying to be in charge. Yeah. Like, why are you doing these things? No, totally. You should be doing these other things. Yes. She's like, oh, excuse me. Fuck you.
I think that's cool. And there was a lot of good comedy from that. There was a lot of playful banter.
And that was also
them.
Like corporate, like bigwig type thinking. Yes. Like, yeah, no, just look for the thing that washed up on the shore. The computers. It's like,
right.
You don't even know the beginning of how to survive.
You have no fucking grip on reality of like
just like
regular
somehow
people.
Like sometimes
I'm
like
the captain now.
Corporate bigwigs don't even know like the inner workings of like your day-to-day job. It's like the similar. So it was good how they kind of tied that into like he didn't know anything about what she's doing, and he still doesn't know anything about what she's doing when they're in a completely different setting. So I thought that was good too.
I don't know.
I think it was told in a hilarious and thrilling Sam Raimi style.
Nah, I don't think this was Sam Raimi style. That's the other thing I wanted to get back to. That's like the number one thing that people are saying. It's like, yeah, it's a return to form. It's a return to form. I don't really see it. His last movie was in 2009. His last real movie, which was Drag Me to Hell, which is a great movie. I think people are a little bit brain fogged that there's been such a almost 20-year gap between movies that he's made between this and then, with the exception of Multiverse of Madness, which I can't count.
Did you see a style in that?
In what? Multiverse of Madness?
Yes.
There's glimpses of it, but clearly you could tell by that movie he was held back by the Marvel
And you don't
formula.
see glimpses of his style in this?
I see glimpses of it with the comedy, but that was about it. So when people say it's a return to form,
and the violence, what about the violence? I felt Sam Raimi to me.
I honestly didn't think it was effective at all because the CGI was just so fucking bad in this movie. and Sam Raimi's a guy that comes from a background of like masterful practical effects.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get past that. I was just like, this looks terrible. And there's stuff too that they could have easily done practical effects for that they didn't, like the fucking eyeball thing with the thumb. It's like why are you using CGI blood? I can't stand it. It's so ugly looking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a budget issue.
Yeah, no, I know it is. I just, yeah, I don't know. The return to Sam Raimi. I don't know. This wasn't that for me. But I'm glad you guys liked it. I mean, I really wanted to. Like, I didn't want to go into this not like it. I was like so disappointed by the end. I was like actually upset when after I watched it. I was like I didn't like.
I'm disappointed I didn't go to the theaters to watch it.
It felt weird. It just felt weird and off to me. I don't know.
I will grant you this, Dan, that I think there are parts in the story that are either easy or simple in how they get from A to B. But I think if you go back and you watch some of the things that happen in some of his older movies, like it's pretty simple and easy too. I don't, when you say it's not Sam Raimi, like there are things that happen in Evil Dead or Army of Darkness or any of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, well, how do we get here? Oh, that was pretty dumb, but yeah, we got there. Sure. I think there's more Sam Raimi in here than you realize.
If I showed you this movie and I didn't tell you who directed it, would you be able to say this is a Sam Raimi movie? I don't think
I would
so.
say it felt like a Sam Raimi film. Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think the Spider-Man movies feel like a Sam Raimi movie. People are saying this is a return to Sam Raimi's style, which he departed from with the Spider-Man movies, with Multiverse of Madness. So people are specifically saying that this is his style that made him a cult icon because of Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and those early films of his. This was not that. It just wasn't.
I think it had stylistically similar.
It had hints.
Yes, it had hints. Stylistically,
right.
It is. This is a new era of Sam Raimi filmmaking that is stylistically close to a little bit of everything that he did in the past. Is it his greatest work? No, absolutely not.
No.
Is it a top 5? Probably not.
No. Yeah, no.
But it's still my favorite film of the year so far.
Well, that's fair. It's been a short year
because Sam Raimi is a good filmmaker, and I like it.
It has his DNA slightly, but it's not. Again, I'm trying to scrutinize the claim that everybody's making of like, yeah, he's back in form, baby. Like he did the Marvel thing and now he's back. Like, I don't really see that. Do you honestly see that in this? If so, that's fine. I'm just curious. Do you honestly think that?
I would say this is more of a hybridization of his Marvel films and his previous films.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, thanks.
It's a hybridization of the two.
That's a more honest, accurate.
I'd agree.
Take.
Yeah.
It also is a different genre, though. So
it's a way different genre. Yeah,
it's not going to feel the exact same as Evil Dead because it's not straight up horror.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, maybe I fell for the trailer a little bit because the trailer did straight up show this as like it was a horror movie. The trailer was better than the fucking actual movie, in my opinion. The trailer made it like this is going to be a horror version of that movie with Tom Hanks. Was that?
Oh yeah,
Castaway. Which on paper is a fucking awesome premise. Like that would have been cool. I mean, listen, this is why we do this, right? Not everything's going to be for everybody. I'm surprised that I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to. I really thought I really wanted to like this. I wanted to like this, so I didn't just go into this like with trying to be a hater. But it is what it is. It's getting good praise though. It's got a 6.9 on IMDb. I'm not there. I got it. This was just mid for me. This is a 5.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I did not enjoy it. I'll be honest.
Crazy.
I enjoyed bits and pieces.
I had a couple gripes myself, but it's still like an 8 for me.
8? Damn, that's a bump.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 too. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Great.
Maybe I'll rewatch it someday and get a better have a better opinion of it, but I think it's a little bit overhyped. There's our thoughts, folks, but we want to know what you have to say. Leave a comment down below and let us know. And if you enjoyed the conversation, you can check out some of our other movie reviews on the playlist right over there.